The first thing that comes to my mind when I think about how much of an impact law enforcement has on the mental health community is really how much we need them and how they go above and beyond the call of duty to support us, to mediate in a lot of ways where, that's really not part of what they're supposed to be doing. And they show up to a situation where, some people are in a crisis or they're really escalated, and they do a phenomenal job at, being really present and helping that person feel safe, feel comfortable. And I think that those types of stories aren't really told.
Both personally and professionally, I've been able to do crisis intervention trainings for the California Highway Patrol, and it's been a good experience to be able to say thank you. I always am now grateful for the fact that they entered my life always when necessary and did what they had to do to protect the public and to really protect me as a citizen as well for myself. I'm glad that I was able to remain free and continue the search for my truth about my diagnosis and the solution. So thank you.
Community Action Team is 2 officers from SLO PD who are tasked with working with our local homeless and directing them to appropriate resources, whether it's drug and alcohol or mental health or sober living facilities coming out of jail, even coming by to pick up clothes for people that may be getting released without anything. The clients that they work with, they have a really good relationship. It's not like the police are coming, it's like their friends are here to help kind of a thing. And I think that's unique, and I know that they trust them so that when they bring us in, there's already a level of trust. We're introduced as friends instead of an agency.
I had this correctional officer I had met, and we became pretty good friends. He would check in on me and bring me cards and stuff like that, and we would talk. And I had mentioned to him about my mother having a mental illness, and she was on medication, and he told me, Arthur, have you ever thought about that you might have a mental illness? Would it be okay if I referred you to the mental health services here? And I said, sure, why not? What do I got to lose? So that was 12 years ago, and I've been clean ever since. The voice has disappeared. I'm able to manage my wellness now and just move forward in this mental health community that I'm very proud of.
A day hardly goes by when through SLO Hotline we don't have to either have some call out to law enforcement or a call from law enforcement regarding situations. And it's reassuring and gives us confidence when we know that law enforcement can be there to intervene, to assess the situation and determine what's needed for safety for the individual.
First off, for myself, I'm very grateful that they were concerned not only for my son, but for myself. It's very heartwarming to get these phone calls with someone that doesn't have to, that they're spending their own time and they're busy, and that they would call to see how I was doing. And I think that if we had to have a mentally ill family member, that to be in this city or this county we're very fortunate, because like I say, it's been going on almost 8-10 years now, off and on, and I have never had one complaint. All the officers have been more than respectful. They've always been caring.
They've been very supportive, and I think there's been a large shift in the way law enforcement looks at mental health and people who have mental illnesses, and it's been really positive. In my 25 years in mental health, I've seen a really, really positive shift. We're very grateful for the partnership we have with law enforcement jurisdictions.
It's really important to share those positive experiences and how much they do help us and how they're there to help, and really to say thank you to them for all that they do for us and how much they give whenever we have to make that call or that we need some extra support.
I appreciate your service. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for your practiced patience and your compassion.
I would just say, continue to do the great job that you're doing. It's one of those unsung things. They don't think they're heroes, but the community thinks that they're heroes. A lot of the law enforcement people we've run in contact with are very humble, but also very dedicated. So it's a nice balance to see them be helpful, successful, inspiration for others, but they're very humble and just show up day after day just to get the job done.
It's been a pleasure working with them, and we usually have a good time even in a stressful situation, and that we appreciate their reliability. And often we get messages on off days, or they do, and we generally always respond to each other. So I've really enjoyed that sense of community with them, and also the people we've been able to help.
I'd like to thank them all for their being brave and helping people, and I think that's just amazing, the responsibilities that they do.
If I had to say anything to the officers, I'd just say thanks a lot for caring.
Very thankful that you're there helping us and working with us, and that it's reassuring that for the safety of the people we're assisting, and also for our own safety and well-being, that you're there. And I know it's a very difficult job. It must be very stressful. Certainly want them to know that we're available too, to assist them personally.
Thank you for recognizing mental health as the treatable condition that it is, and for really looking at the sources and reasons that people with a mental illness might be intersecting with law enforcement. And thanks for distinguishing that, and for really helping people get to the right place so they don't have to see them from a law enforcement perspective again, but just see them as regular members of the community. So I really appreciate the time and attention that law enforcement officers are giving to those issues. That's been a great gift to the community.